Good morning, freshmen. Miss Marno here. Miss Mangiarelli, man in the camera. It is Thursday, June 4th, and what we want to do today is do a video on how to do the phet lab concerning reflection and refraction. It's actually going to be two labs. Two videos. So we'll do the first video will be the first half of the lab, and the second video will be the second half of the lab. So the reason we're doing this video is so you know exactly when we have the directions on the sheet, you know exactly what to do and where the buttons are that we're talking about on the phet lab. So there shouldn't be any questions on how to run the phet lab because we are walking it through you. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to read the directions from the lab, and Miss Mangiarelli is going to drive the computer. Woo. So I'm going to read, and she's going to do the computer. Mm-hmm. So you won't see the document. I'm just going to read it, but she's going to do it as I say it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to take this.
All right, tell me what to do.
So first things first, hold on. We are going to go to the HTTP phet Colorado site, and there it is. So you'll just hit, then you're going to talk as you go.
Yep, and hit the start button.
Okay, then it says, click on the start arrow in the picture to start the sim, and then click intro. Okay, next it says, we are now on number 3. Click on the protractor and drag the protractor so that 0 degrees lines up with the normal.
And this dashed line is the normal line. It is perpendicular to this surface. And notice this part of the protractor is lined up with the division between the water and the air, and the 0 is on the normal.
All right. Step 4, turn the laser on by clicking the red button on the laser. So that gray cylinder is a laser. Mm-hmm. Okay, step 5. Left click on the laser and drag it to 10 degrees to the normal. The ray to the left of the normal is the incident ray. The angle is the angle of incidence.
So incident means this is the ray that's coming in from the light source. It leaves the light source and comes in this direction, and this little angle here is the angle of incidence, and I can make that bigger. This is the incident ray, and this is the angle of incidence.
So what would be that angle of incidence?
If we measured the angle of incidence, about 33 degrees.
Okay, yep, great.
Okay.
Number 6, the ray on the right of the normal is the reflected ray. The angle is the angle of reflection. Measure the angle of reflection and record in the table below.
So I put it on 10, and you have to be able to read the intervals of 30 are marked. Each long line is 10, so that's 10. There's 20, there's 30, 40, 50, 60. Each little tiny line is 1 degree.
And where again is the reflected ray?
This is the reflected ray. It's the one that is reflected off the water.
Okay.
We're ignoring this one. We only care about the 2 in the white section.
Because reflected means it goes back, but refracted means it goes through. And we're only looking at the reflected part. Super.
So I'm going to read it here, and it's at 10 degrees. And you're going to record that in the table.
Okay, so then step 7. Move the laser to the indicated angles and record all angles of reflection in the table below. So it says you go from 10 degrees to 20 degrees to 30 degrees to 40 degrees, all the way up to 80. So 80 is way down there.
Yep.
All right.
And we're always ignoring this. We only care about the reflected ray.
Right. And where do we measure the angle from?
The normal.
Right.
So this is the angle I'm measuring.
All right.
This one.
Okay. Super. Let's see what else we got.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
All right. Next. Here are the questions. What's the name of the imaginary line that all angles are measured with respect to? Oops, sorry. As the angle of incidence increases, what happens to the angle of reflection? Use data to support your answers.
No.
Yes. There should be a number somewhere in your answer, or numbers. State the law of reflection. Use your textbook.
Not the internet?
No. We actually assigned a homework where you had to define the angle of reflection, so don't do more work. You already defined it, so use that one. And then, let's see, number 11, does your data obey the law of reflection? Explain why or why not using data
again.
as your evidence. So number 9, you are talking about the angle of incidence and reflection. Number 10, you're stating the law of reflection. And in number 11, you're saying whether or not your angles obey the law of reflection. So that is the end of the reflection part to the lab. That's activity 1. The next video, we're going to do activity 2. So again, watch this and hopefully everything is clear on what you need to do. All right? Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.